So hello everyone, welcome back. With the new semester beginning next month in August, we simply would like everyone equipped with the most useful AI technologies beforehand. That is why we have moved our second session 1 week earlier. And today we will discuss the important file system, computer use, agents, sub-agents, and skills. As we introduced last time, there are two main agentic systems, Codex by OpenAI and Cloud Code or Cloud Science by Anthropic. Both of them have become like super apps. Why? Because they can do so many things. Like they have the knowledge to do some analysis, to do content creation, also web coding, software engineering, not only knowledge, but also workflow. They have the execution mode to help you carry out the work directly. They can operate your computer, they can operate your browser as well. And more importantly, with plugins and skills, they start to have the domain knowledge with native ecosystem integration and also reusable workflows. Let me give you some examples. For example, for plugin, these are the screenshots of the plugin in the Codex system. So they are really like the app store of your iPhone. Yeah, there are some built-in featured plugin like a computer use, Chrome, Excel, PowerPoint, data analysis, and even stock analysis. And besides these featured plugin, there are also plugins from each of the subdomains. For example, education and research. Remember that last time we introduced consensus, and the consensus also have the plugin here, so you can call consensus directly without leaving Codex. So with all of the plugin, AI is becoming more useful. And in the following, since I use Codex myself, I will use Codex for today's demonstration, but Cloud Code works very similarly. Okay. The biggest difference between the local app, Codex, and Cloud Code and the web interface is that the local app can access local files, allowing it to perform many more tasks. But when we have so many tasks, how can we get organized? The best way is to use projects. For example, the screenshot on the left side. You can create projects, multiple projects and multiple chats inside each project. With projects, you not only stay organized, but more importantly, can share files and memories inside the project. For example, here in the chat box, you can search and call specific projects, and you can use add button to call some specific files from that project. For example, in my AI for Science project, I have some AI for Science doc file. I can just press add to call it. Yeah. But when the AI agent does the work for you, how frequently they should ask for your permission, because this permission control is super important in practice. So there are a couple options. At the lower left corner, there is ask for approval every time. There is approval for me, and there is full access mode. I will recommend at the very beginning, as you are not very familiar with the local agentic system, you probably start with ask for approval. And as you get more and more comfortable with the agentic system, you can gradually turn to full access. Okay. Next is the memory system. There are two types of memory in Codex and Cloud Code. One is auto memory, the other is manual memory. Okay, what is auto memory? The auto memory file is stored in your username, /codecs and memory. So that's really like how the AI knows about you. Yeah, it will automatically summarize everything they know about you and put them in this folder. Usually don't touch it, but I will still recommend maybe once per month or once per 2 months, go there to have a look at to see, the understanding of AI about you. It's really interesting and even funny sometimes. Yeah. The memory we use most in practice is called manual memory. Manual memory is defined configuration across a project, and we often call it agents.md. With manual memory, we can have the manual rules like writing style and deck structure, and over time, it could compound over time. Let me give you some example. Yeah. Oh, first of all, you need to enable memory in setting. Yeah. Okay. After I do some work, I said from now on, could you please use this format whenever I ask for a landing page and I don't want to specify the setting? They say yes. And can you add that as a project instruction in agents.md? This agents.md is the memory which is shared across the project. Yeah, you see that creating the memory is super simple. Okay. Next is computer and browser use. We can use the @ symbol to call computer use. We can use @ symbol also to call the browser use. Probably the screen on the left side is a little bit too small, but you can just type @ and a browser to let the local agentic system to do almost any computer and browser task for you. I mean, for example, here, for my computer, I said, please open PowerPoint app on my computer and make a new presentation and put each of these images on a slide with a total 5 slides. After 7 minutes, my PowerPoint file is ready. For browser, I let my agent to go to Chrome, find the latest CPI data, Consumer Price Index, from the US government website, and get the API and set the automation task run once per month in the future, because the government release the CPI data monthly. Yeah, and afterwards, after a couple minutes, they finish the work. They give me the Excel file, explain the API, and they also set the automation. On the left side, under scheduled, you just click scheduled, you can see the scheduled task. Yeah, and the next one is going to carry out in 1 month. Okay, very important note in practice. I find quite often the direct computer action, sometimes they have no undo button. For example, you let it modify some PowerPoint file for you. If you see some mistake, you want to do undo, that undo function does not really work. So better to have a backup copy first, or simply let AI agent to add slides instead of replacing slides for you. So after each of the original slide, they can add a new slide, or simply add a separate independent PowerPoint file for you. So you can compare between 2 versions and decide which one you keep. Yeah. To really make computer and browser use useful, we need to tailor that for our workflow and our needs. So what are the typical workflow for researchers? Like workflow in our major, such as end-to-end data analysis, scientific research, tasks, and also teaching. Okay. Beside the workflow in our major, we also have operational tasks. We frequently go out for travel. We have the receipt. We need to get reimbursement from the department. So after getting the receipts, we can throw all of the receipts to AI, let it to organize an Excel file for us, and submit the reimbursement. Yeah, I take a screenshot of the Excel file it created for me before. Okay, to better execute the workflow, skills comes into play. So skills are the reusable workflow receipts or SOP that your agent can use many times, or the instruction files your agent follows whenever it runs some tasks. Okay, next, very natural. The question, how to create a skill. There are two main methods. The first one is workflow method. You do the workflow manually yourself. You go back and forth, get output right. If you are happy, at the end, you simply type, I'm very happy with this output. Turn it into a skill. And the Codex has the skill creation function skill built inside the system. So they can create the skill based on the workflow for you. And afterwards, you click plugin in the sidebar and click skills. You can see all of the personal skills stored in your codex. Let me give you an example. For example, I have a corporation bond data file. I said, please visualize this data for me. After a couple minutes work, they help me visualize it. At the end, I said, I like it. Please save it as a skill called bond data visualization. You see that it stores the skill as MD, MD file, profile scripts, and field guide. This is my skill called corporation bond data visualization. This is the first way. A second way is Codex has a built-in record and replay function we mentioned last time. So you only have to show Codex a workflow once where direct computer use. They can record your screen and can turn that video into a skill directly. So there is even no need to write any prompt. And in practice, I find this is actually a super easy and effective way to create a skill as well. Okay, how to use skill? You can press the / for calling skills. For example, on the left side, yeah, you can just type a / to trigger the skills menu, and then select one of the many specialized capabilities to execute the complex workflow seamlessly. Of course, you can add multiple skills for your task. You can simply, after typing / select one skill, you can type another / select another skill, no problem. Yeah, and remember that you can press add button for plugins and files. So skill / plugins and files use add. Okay. The next question is how we can update the skill. So probably you change the mind afterwards. How we can update? There are two ways. You can either modify the py file, the Python code directly. For example, in my data visualization example, I have a multiple risk category from AAA, AA, A, B, B, this kind of rating category. For example, okay, I just don't like AAA. So what I can do is I can go to the Python code of the skill to remove AAA from my source code directly. Or actually, alternatively, you can select the corresponding role and you can let Codex to modify the codes directly for you. That's even easier, but I'm probably old school. I still like modifying the Python codes myself to get a better tuning. Yeah, so this is update skill. Okay, in our human society, we have managers and junior staff. They kind of like work as a team to get a better efficiency. Exactly the same in the AI world. We could have master agents and sub-agents working as a team as well. In practice, I find in the scientific research environment, because we also have many different ideas, right? You can let different sub-agents try different setup, and you let your master agents compare and summarize and review the sub-agents' work. Let me give you another example. Please use parallel sub-agents for this review. Spawn one explorer for code paths, one reviewer for correctness, and one doc researcher for API rules. Wait for all three, then summarize. Yeah. And in my example, I let one sub-agent to check whether there is a new API data release, and let another sub-agent to send me to send some email out. And I have a master agent checking and making sure each of the two sub-agents finish the work seamlessly. Yeah. And for long horizontal work, I find the best time to start the process is when you go to bed. So overnight, they just stay there to work, and once you wake up, everything's ready. So that kind of feeling is really good. It's really cool. So go ahead and try that. Okay. To enhance learning effectiveness, we have some homework actually as well for our PhD and postdoctoral participants. Identify a time-consuming yet challenging task in your domain, and try to let AI handle it directly from a single prompt, so which I call direct delegation. Quite often, AI cannot do the work very well, so provide a detailed walkthrough of the workflow. Teach the AI to execute the steps, turn it into a permanent skill, and systematically reuse it for new data set. Yeah. And after this, if you are still not happy with the result, or if the detailed walkthrough still does not work as planned, let us know. If it's a data analysis or statistical problem, because I'm a statistician myself, I'm more than happy to help you directly. Or if it's some engineering problem, our engineering team can get involved and see how they can help as well. Yeah. Why we do homework? So besides enhancing learning effectiveness, we also use this for valuation and also recommendation letter. I mentioned to our participants before, to write a recommendation letter for you, I need see you really use AI for your domain work. For example, this homework is one of them. This is to make sure you really master these local agentic systems. Okay, over the past months, we continuously bring more people into our network. Here is the map showing where our current participants are located. Majority are from US, but we also have quite some friends from Europe, India, Singapore, and Australia. So overall, at this moment, we have 75. We continuously grow the team around 2 every weekday. Yeah, and also because scientific discovery requires a rigorous logic. So when you do the model and the reasoning choice, when you use codex, you deserve to use the best model with extra high or ultra effort. So you can simply choose the best model, 5.6 Solar, and just choose extra high as the default when you do the scientific research. And if the result is not perfect, you can also try ultra, yeah, for the next reasoning level. This is different from our ordinary task because for the ordinary task, we do not really need, very precise logic, but for scientific research, it requires. So it's better to use a higher reasoning level for AI to work. Okay, and also because some of you asked me this question, what is the difference between data labeling company and the Open Refinery STEM research program? So I think it's worthwhile for me to answer the question altogether here. First, let's see how the typical or the standard data labeling company or data labeling program works. You first need to do some lengthy evaluation. You spend some valuable academic hours on tedious and soul-crushing evaluation process. Typically, it lasts like 1 hour. Yeah. And each week, working strictly within bounds of assigned and repetitive duty. So every week, they assign you some task to finish. You finish the task, spend some time, get some money. So the value is tied directly to the sheer hours spent completing mechanical steps. So this is how the typical data labeling work do. There, I would say we mainly work for money. However, for the STEM research program here, we would like a better research and a better you. Why I say so? First, there's no evaluation process. We free up your bandwidth to focus 100% on actual scientific work. We would like you to master intelligent AI tools to automate academic workflow and invest in permanent reusable skills. We provide training and also career development overall. Yeah. So on a high level, I simply trust you and would like a better you. So this is a completely different philosophy compared to the data labeling work. Okay. I could say that as a young researcher, one of the best investment you can do is to allocate resources on AI and use it as much as you can for research. This will bring in long-term benefits, not only for research, but also for you. Yeah. Okay, next, because we continuously update our main tool, Cloud Journal, I want to talk about some features. Yeah. The first one is from a question from one of our participants. She asked me, how can I customize the redact? There are two ways. One way is to use the CLI, the command line environment. You can type Cloud Journal configure, exclude some project, you can redact some string username like this, or alternatively, you can use GUI. Under GUI, the last step share, in the first half of share, there are some added reduction policies. You click there, you see this reduction string, redact username, etc. You can simply fill in the string there. It's almost the one-to-one correspondence with the CLI. Yeah, so this is the first. And the second is recently we bring in automatic upload. So if your time is valuable and you simply want to concentrate on research, feel free to enable the auto upload. How we can do that? Yeah, after each upload, after each submission, there will be some auto upload menus just popping out. You can enable there right away, or alternatively, you can go to the lower left corner setting and enable auto upload there. Yeah, so we believe that with this automatic upload, it can further free you up, so you can concentrate on your research. Okay, and we are constantly updating our tools and our training program to support your STEM workflows. Yeah. Okay, so do you have any questions? Any questions? Yeah. Oh, by the way, afterwards, we are going to put these videos online, so you can always go back to review that. Yeah. Okay. So no questions. Then remember to give me the homework. I mean, you can submit the homework via Trace. I will also recommend you email me the zip file so I can have a look at that for you to make sure we really mark that. And in the following, we are still going to host this workshop bi-weekly. we are going to give more examples from each of these subdomains, and probably also more technology tools for, let's say, cloud, detailed model use, etc., evaluation, benchmark. Yeah, going on. Okay, so if there's no more question, we can stop here, and feel free to message or email me going forward. Okay, bye.